Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bold and the beautiful sees Taylor Hayes getting dumped soon, and that means we need to talk about what's next for her after her engagement ends abruptly. Let's get into what happens after Ridge Forrester has a life-altering experience in Italy and decides to spend his forever after with his destiny Dame Brooke Logan. So, the groundwork's been laid for Taylor to be heartbroken after this big Euro trip. By the way, Bold and the Beautiful just dropped a huge hint about what is going to happen to change Ridge's mind that's going to have him end his engagement to Taylor. Brooke, Ridge, and Eric Forrester are all heading to Naples, Italy soon, and Nick Marone is going to be part of this Italian trip despite Ridge insisting he doesn't want his brother along, especially after he just hijacked some silk from Forrester Creations by delaying the delivery. Thanks to Brad Bell, we know this incident in Naples changes Ridge's mind. We already knew there was some sort of accident that occurs while they're overseas. We have a leaked image taken by a bystander near the shoot. It's blurry because they were not really close, but watching the filming, you can see Ridge is either jumping in or falling into the water. I wondered if his life might flash before his eyes if he has an accident. This week, when Eric was nagging his son again to dump Taylor and get with Brooke, he said some things that weren't even subtle, but were definitely hints. Eric said, "You could lose Brooke forever." He also said, "You take it for granted. Brooke's always going to be there." Eric added, "It's a hard world out there," and asked Ridge, "What if Brooke wasn't there anymore?" That seems very doom and gloom. Based on this heavy-handed hinting from the writers, I looked again at that behind-the-scenes photo of Ridge, and with that in mind, it looks like he's intentionally diving into the water. So, I'm going to guess he's saving Brooke from drowning. They keep showing flashbacks of that Portofino moment with Brooke in the gown on the boat coming across the water. They may try to recreate that moment, only Brooke falls overboard, and she's in a heavy dress. That would obviously drag her down. At any rate, I believe Ridge is going to rescue her. Their whole relationship flashes before his eyes. Then, I bet he sees what Eric was saying. He's meant to be with Brooke. Inevitably, that leaves Taylor dumped and alone. So, we wonder once Ridge cuts Taylor loose and calls off the engagement. What then? What then for Taylor? Well, we've got a few ideas. First of all, I'd love to see this happen. Taylor ends up in a romance with Bill Spencer. And don't tell me Dollar Bill won't hook up with the hottie who shot him. That would be so on brand for Bill to get with Taylor, even though she put a bullet in his back. I mean, come on. Bill once had Sheila Carter in his bed, and she has shot several people. Bill's single. He hasn't had love in a while. He's been dumped as a result of a Brooke Ridge reunion himself. So Taylor could absolutely open up to him. He's been there, done that, got the crappy t-shirt. Also, there's pretty much nobody on the horizon that's a romantic interest for Bill or Taylor. There are very few single men around. Bill's about the only one who's age appropriate for Taylor. There are some single ladies Bill could date, but Poppy Nozawa seems like she is on his ex list for good. He does not want to get back with her. She's a terrible parent, drove Luna Nozawa crazy. Her sister Lee Finnegan is going to be busy taking care of probably not dead Luna. Dr. Grace Buckingham has her own issues. Bridget Forrester is not sticking around. And Katie Logan told him, "Nope, nope, nope, not again." Plus, most of the people in LA are still furious with Bill for the Luna debacle. I mean, Taylor is too, but she might be so distraught over Ridge dumping her for Brooke that she lets that slide and turns to Bill for comfort. And, you know, it turns into something else. Bill might stumble across Taylor crying over Ridge and tells her she can do better than the dressmaker. Of course, her getting with Bill would infuriate Ridge. So, really, Taylor might even get with Bill for just that reason. Another thing is Taylor may just take off again and leave LA like she's done before. In case you don't remember, Rebecca Budig debuted in the role of Taylor almost exactly 1 year ago on August 6, 2024. Even if they gave her a multi-year contract, they have the right to review it every 6 months. They can terminate it at any time. They cut off the last Taylor, played by Kirsta Allen, a year early. It's interesting that it's almost exactly the anniversary of her debut. These Italy episodes run from Monday, August 28th through Tuesday, September 5th, the day before her one-year mark. So, it could be Brad Bell signed Rebecca Budig only for a one-year stint, or he's decided to let her go after a year because Ridge comes back from Italy with hearts in his eyes for Brooke. He's going to dump Taylor, and maybe she slinks out of town all sad and lonely. Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, of course, would be mad if her mom left. But Jackie Wood also has maternity leave coming. So they could have Steffi and Taylor leave town together to go to Paris to spend time with Thomas Forrester Matthew Atkinson and Douglas Forrester Henry Joseph Samiri, while Taylor recovers from another broken heart. We could also see Ridge breaking the engagement, causing Taylor more heart problems. She could have a health crisis, more broken heart syndrome. Ridge's betrayal could cause a relapse. I personally don't want to sit through more chakra sessions. No matter what, Steffi is going to be mad at Ridge for ditching Taylor after promising not to break her heart. If Brad Bell is going to do a rewrite of Ridge and Brooke's reunion, crushing Taylor into a medical crisis, I'd personally rather see Rebecca Budig just go as Taylor. Although, I do like her a lot. I loved her on General Hospital. She could just go back over there. That'd be great. If she does stick around at Bold and the Beautiful, I think it'd be fun to see Taylor going dark and trying to split Ridge and Brooke up. That would be a fun twist and a nice change of pace for Taylor to turn villainous and plot against them. However, Brad Bell said that once Ridge chooses Brooke this time, they're together forever. If that is really Brad Bell's plan for them going forward, it would be a waste of our time for Taylor to sit around sabotaging them. I'd rather her move on with another man or move away. One last thing that might be interesting for Taylor to do, whether she stays or goes, is to target Eric for payback. He's been scheming and plotting behind Taylor's back, actively telling Ridge to dump Taylor, and then Eric's being nice to her face. Ridge is a grown man, and his daddy shouldn't be telling him who to be with. Eric ignored Ridge when he told him, "But out of my love life." At the same time, Eric smiles in Taylor's face while stabbing her in the back every time it's turned. I'd be okay with her targeting Eric and possibly targeting his marriage to Donna Logan Jennifer Garais. Countdown to drama, because Bold and the Beautiful is showing those on location episodes all of next week and into early the following week. When Ridge comes back to town, he's going to be dropping a nuclear bombshell on Taylor. I kind of hope she explodes on him. In the glimmering heart of Los Angeles, where beauty reigns and secrets fester beneath designer suits and salon-perfect hair, the Forrester family is once again in turmoil. And this time, it's Taylor Hayes who finds herself at the epicenter of heartbreak and betrayal. Taylor had believed, foolishly perhaps, that she and Ridge Forrester were finally on the same page. They had reignited the old spark after decades of near misses and messy love triangles. After all the back and forth with Brooke Logan, Ridge had promised Taylor something real, something lasting. He swore he was done with the back and forth, done with the drama. But as always, Ridge's promises seemed to vanish faster than a Forrester Creations fashion line launch party. Ridge began canceling dinner plans. Long workdays turned into late-night meetings. He was distracted, distant, and constantly on his phone. Taylor, ever the intuitive therapist, could sense the shift in energy. But she chose, at first, to believe it was stress or pressure from Steffi and Thomas's ongoing battles over the company and their respective relationships. She refused to believe it was Brooke. Again, the truth exploded like a champagne cork at a Forrester gala. A private photo, taken by an anonymous source, surfaced in the press. A candid shot of Ridge and Brooke in an intimate embrace at the Forrester guest house. Not just a hug. Not just old friends comforting each other. This was passionate. This was betrayal. The image landed on Taylor's phone moments before she was scheduled to meet Ridge for brunch at Il Giardino. She stared at it in disbelief, her fingers trembling. She read the message that accompanied the photo. Thought you should know before the media gets it. No name. No source. Just the cold truth staring back at her. Taylor arrived at Il Giardino anyway, determined to give Ridge a chance to explain. But as he approached the table with his signature half grin, Taylor saw it, the guilt in his eyes, the hesitation in his steps. And then she knew. "You don't have to say a word, Ridge," she said calmly, placing her phone on the table with the photo open. "You already said it all." Ridge tried to defend himself, claimed it was a moment of weakness, that he didn't know what came over him, that he still loved Taylor and didn't mean to hurt her. But his excuses bounced off her like rain on armor. She had heard it all before, and she was done. "You never stopped loving her, Ridge," Taylor said, her voice steely. "You keep circling back to Brooke like a moth to a flame, and I keep getting burned. But not anymore. I'm done waiting for you to choose me." With that, she stood, her posture elegant and proud, and walked out, leaving Ridge speechless in her wake. But Taylor wasn't about to retreat into heartbreak. She had spent her life helping others heal. Now it was time to help herself. She threw herself into her work, expanding her practice, taking on new patients, and even appearing as a guest speaker at a prestigious psychology conference in New York. Fans and friends watched her transformation unfold like a butterfly from a cocoon, stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. Meanwhile, Ridge found himself in a familiar yet awkward position, torn between two women. Brooke, unsurprisingly, leaned into the chaos. She claimed it was fate that brought them back together. That Ridge's kiss was proof of the unbreakable bond they shared. But even Ridge couldn't shake the guilt of how he'd hurt Taylor. The family, too, was divided. Steffi was livid. She confronted her father in the Forrester's CEO office, unleashing a fury that shook the walls. "How could you do this to Mom again? After everything she's been through? After everything she gave up for you?" she demanded, her voice thick with anger. Thomas, meanwhile, tried to stay neutral but couldn't hide his disappointment. He admired his mother's strength and resented Ridge for constantly dragging her through the emotional mud. Even Eric, the family patriarch, weighed in. "You can't keep doing this, Ridge. You have to stop hurting the women who love you." But Ridge was lost in his own confusion, torn between the woman who represented his passion and the woman who had given him unconditional loyalty. In the past, he might have let the situation fester until it exploded again. But this time, the choice might be made for him. Because Taylor, away from the glare of Ridge and Brooke's eternal love war, began to find herself again. And in the process, someone else noticed. Enter Dr. Adrian Cruz, a charming, brilliant, and compassionate trauma specialist who met Taylor at the New York conference. Their connection was immediate, not rushed. It was the kind of chemistry that didn't scream fire and chaos, but warmth and safety. He admired her mind, her strength, her resilience. And for once, Taylor found herself drawn to someone who didn't come with decades of emotional baggage. When she returned to LA, Adrian followed, offering to collaborate on a new mental health initiative funded by Forrester International. Steffi encouraged the partnership, and even Thomas seemed intrigued by the good doctor's genuine nature. Ridge, on the other hand, wasn't amused. Seeing Taylor smile around Adrian, hearing her laugh again, it stirred something in him. Jealousy? Regret? Maybe both. But he no longer had the right to question her choices. He made his. And now, Taylor was free. In a stunning twist, Taylor invited Ridge to a press event where she and Adrian announced a new foundation for mental health outreach, an initiative that Taylor was spearheading with Adrian by her side. As cameras flashed and applause rang through the room, Ridge watched her with bittersweet pride. He realized too late what he had lost. Brooke may have won Ridge again, but Taylor, she won something far greater. Her peace. And for the first time in years, Dr. Taylor Hayes didn't need Ridge Forrester to feel whole. She was enough, and the world was finally seeing it. Stay tuned to the bold and the beautiful for more romantic twists, fresh betrayals, and one woman's inspiring rise from heartbreak to happiness. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.